Hi, you're watching TechCrunch TV. My name is Colleen Taylor. Here with me in the studio today is Brittany Hawkins, who's the co-founder and CEO of a new app out for the iPhone called Swirl. Welcome, Brittany.
Thank you.
So we have some wine here. This isn't something that we normally do for TechCrunch TV interviews, but this has a purpose to Swirl. Explain to me what Swirl is.
So Swirl is a location-based and taste-based wine recommendation engine. So basically we're trying to help people find a wine they're gonna like at any location, sort of take the intimidation out of it, take out the stigma, and help them really find wines and help them like the ones, like them more.
Okay, before we get into any more of your story here, can you just show us the app? Show me what you do with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically first, it's really supposed to be 3 steps. What you do is you check into your location. So here we are at TechCrunch HQ, and we've got our bottle of wine here, as I'm sure you guys have on hand all the time. And so I select the wine, and I can find some information about it if I want it, some flavor information, photos, fun pairing recommendations, and then I can choose to swirl it if I like it, and then spit it if I dislike it, which are sort of 2 common sort of drinking terms, or wine tasting terms rather. So first, then we're gonna choose to get the wine, because it's obviously right here, so then you can try it.
Okay. I love a good rosé, I have to say.
It is nice outside. So.
It is. It's a good day for rosé. I'm gonna say that this is one that will swirl it.
You're gonna swirl. All right. So we swirl, and then you can choose to share it on Facebook or Twitter, and then what you do is you can actually start, as you start swirling more and more, you can see what you can keep it all in your profile. So it kind of automatically tracks all the wines you taste and where you taste them, and then also will show you what flavors you like in wine, and also what types of wine you like. So you don't have to, all you have to do is swirl or spit to get all that information about your own palate. So the more you drink, the more you learn, really. And then also, a big thing that in our user testing we saw that everybody just wanted to know what their friends are drinking and where, because it's such a social activity. It really is about kind of being with friends, being in different places. It's not, we just hope you're not sitting around drinking alone. So then you can see it all in a social feed, and kind of learn where to buy wines and kind of find wines around you.
Okay. And where does that data come from? When there were the tasting notes for this particular wine, can I add my own tasting notes if I'm tasting strawberry in here?
Absolutely. So that's actually a really important element of what we're doing. We think that, really it's all about your own taste buds. It's about what you like and learning more about that. So what we've done is we've added this sort of flavor tagging system. So if you think it tastes like light fruits and you can kind of add whatever you want. It's Starburst versus, Coca-Cola, it could be anything. But the idea is that in aggregate, your flavor tags will sort of provide a more well-rounded view of what that wine actually tastes like.
Okay.
So yeah.
And so it sounds like this is probably more useful at like a restaurant or a winery than maybe here at AOL TechCrunch. We don't have that many wines here in our cellar.
Well, you can swirl without a location, so it depends how you want to use it. If you're specifically looking for recommendations, then it really helps to have, to be in a location that there are a lot of wines. But a lot of people are using it for just simply tracking what wines they swirl and spit, so that they can, kind of remember for the future, or just to kind of share with their friends what they're liking. So it depends kind of what your interests are, but really it works anywhere.
Now, this is a beautiful app, but I understand that this isn't your full-time gig. This is something that you've done on the side. Tell me the story here. How did this come about?
So my co-founder and I went on our first date, I want to say it was about 2 years ago, and both of us just, I really had this idea just because there's this huge need for people being incredibly intimidated by wine, and I actually grew up in St. Helena in the Napa Valley, where that wasn't at all the case. Everybody just loved it. So we came together, and he's from Paso Robles, so we kind of had this similar goal in mind, and for the last 2 years it's been a real passion project. We've been working nights and weekends, and it's kind of fun for us to learn along with kind of helping other people learn in the process. So
And can you explain the competitive landscape out here? You know, what role does this fill? What are the other sort of wine apps or tasting apps? I know that there's a handful of them out there.
There are definitely some wine apps out there. When I would say that they fall into a few different buckets. There's sort of pairing apps, which help you generally, like this varietal goes with this type of food. There's cellar sort of tracking, which is basically, you know, being able to add all the wines into your cellar. There's a few new apps that we actually like as well that are, you know, that actually you can take a photo of the label and it keeps it for you. So there's certainly, it's an emerging landscape, absolutely. We're trying to add a sort of a fun spin on it with the recommendations and really having that feed of social activity. It's really like we have fun events. It's more about bringing people together and kind of helping people learn in a way that's more of a fun activity with friends rather than a sort of serious, I don't know, activity of by yourself.
Right. It's not just for sommeliers and connoisseurs,
exactly.
I suppose. Cool. So what's next for Swirl It? I mean, this is huge today. You're launching, and it's finally out there. So that's an accomplishment in itself. But what's next for the app and for you guys?
Well, we are having our launch party tonight, which I am so excited about. We have some amazing wineries pouring, and we actually do these things called Swirl Ups, kind of like a, you know, riff off the meetup. And we have them at wine bars. We have them at, you know, in different sort of places where we have wineries come. So we want to do that on an ongoing basis. We've done it in the past with our beta group, and it's just been kind of a great way to get people together. So in terms of the app itself, we're going to start, you know, we want to partner with restaurants and wineries and really helping kind of move all kinds of consumers of different levels into wine in a way that makes sense for them. And we also have Android in the roadmap. We have a bunch of things.
Okay, and those partnerships with restaurants and wineries, is that something that can then turn into a revenue generating thing, you're thinking? Because at the moment it doesn't look like there's any, you know, advertising or anything.
No, we definitely want to do, you know, something that's native to the user experience, but we have, to be honest, too many ideas on how to do that. We just want to make sure that it's right for our users. So we'll probably try a few things and see what works and then just go from there.
Sounds good. Well, Brittany Hawkins, Swirl It. We can get this at where in the App Store, but what's your website?
The website is swirlitapp.com. And yeah, you can learn all about it. And we have a few videos up there, and download it.
Great.
Rate it.
Sounds good. Well, cheers to that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for bringing wine. This is great.
Yeah.